Oh, there's Tim.
Let me know when
All
to
right.
start.
Yep, we're recording.
Perfect. So good afternoon, everyone. This is the Mayor Managers meeting for Tuesday, December 7th. In the room with me, this is Mayor Othoniel Sierra, City Manager Shawn Lewis, City Attorney Tamara Niles, Assistant City Manager Tim Dodd, City Clerk Stephanie Carlisle, Assistant City Clerk Jay Truscott Reed, and I see Mayor Pro Tem Steve Ward is in the room as well. Is that everyone?
I think so.
Perfect. All right, Shawn, I'll let you lead off.
All right. We've got the holiday dinner at 5:30, I believe.
Yeah, can we send out an email about that, by the way? That it's a 5:30 start.
Yeah. Stephanie, can your office coordinate that? And I think it is 5:30, so we'll add that. December 13th, we have the implement resolution for the annual salary of municipal court judge. Renewal of Microsoft Enterprise Agreement resolution. Presentation on project to consider revisions to city charter, consideration of resolution for charter advisory committee, FEMA emergency management grant, and the city of Inglewood strategic plan revamp, contract renewal for Captain Kirsham Rockwell for city center, ordinance for amending municipal code regarding authorized public consumption areas. And do we have timeframes on all of these and answer the question of consent? Just like
yes. Oh, wait, there's one for discussion on city charter.
okay, yep. Nathaniel, Steve, what would y'all think on discussion on that item?
Oh, actually, sorry, that's not a study session anymore.
Oh, right.
That's why, yes, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, great. Yeah, none of these are they? The study session, I mean, is replaced by the dinner. Is that right?
Correct. Sorry,
Correct.
I was talking this whole time on mute. I apologize about that. But we're all good to go on the 13th for consent, and there is no study session times needed.
Great. All right, moving on. Anything from Mayor Pro Tem on the 13th? If not, we'll move on to January 4th. Got a few study session items, the monthly financial report for November, EDDA tax revenue sharing discussion, and the DLG grant administrator. This is for DOLA regarding municipal court. And it looks like we've got 10 minutes for discussion and presentation on the first. We need to add that to EDDA tax revenue sharing discussion. Do we have anything, Jade, from them on presentation time? Yep.
I do not. I will reach out and get that presentation time though.
I think maybe you can plug in 15 minutes for a presentation. And what do you think, Mayor Pro Tem, on discussion? 30?
We're on, Shawn?
We're on the EDDA tax revenue sharing discussion.
I don't think maybe 20 minutes discussion time, 20 to 30 minutes, but I'd say 20.
Yeah, I would hunker down for a somewhat lengthier conversation on this because this particular conversation is going to essentially decide the financial future of the DDA. So it may take a little bit longer than just 20 or 30 minutes. 30, I suppose, would work.
Okay, so I currently have presentation time at 15 minutes and discussion time at 30 minutes.
Is that all right with you, Othoniel?
Yep, that's fine with me.
So something we need to consider is I'm not positive when the kickoff to go back into council chambers is, but once we go back to that, we really do need to start limiting study session to an hour if they're the night of a regular meeting. And so So right now, we've already kind of exceeded the 1 hour mark with 3 study session items on the night of a regular meeting. So just something to kind of be mindful of as well.
And I do know that the DLG grant should also be pretty darn quick as well. We just put 10 minutes just in case for her to go through her presentation time, but I do have a sneaking suspicion that that may be closer to 5 minutes.
Okay, and can someone explain, I don't understand the description on this. Does anybody know what this is in better detail?
For the DLG?
Mm-hmm. Those maybe Taylor.
Yeah, so this is a letter that Kenitha will need to have the mayor sign, basically that she has to file with DOLA in order to get the grant program that they were previously doing. It's a previous item that we've done before. It's just something she has to bring forward so she can get a signature on the letterhead from the mayor.
Well, if that's so council doesn't have to take action on that to approve the mayor to sign?
No, she's just seeking for consensus to move forward for a letter of support. So no action is required. It's just to let them know what's going on with this specific grant, and then also ask for consensus that the mayor is okay to sign the letterhead.
Okay. All right, so a discussion on this, Mayor Pro Tem, discussion time to plug in.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a long discussion to begin with, so maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's squeeze the presentation down to 5 minutes as well, and
Okay.
do 5 minutes for both. Each, I should say. All right, moving on. Oh, and Stephanie, could you clarify why we moving into the council chambers need to hold the study session to an hour?
Because we do it in 2 different rooms as 2 separate meetings. So the night of meetings, we only do an hour of study session, and then the regular meetings start at 7 p.m. in council chambers. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm just wondering, is it because of the YouTube feed or something that we have to start right at 7 in the chambers?
No, that's just when regular meetings, that's what's been decided on by council to begin regular meetings is at 7 p.m.
How did we get away from that last night?
Because we've been running them as one meeting together as a special meeting.
Oh,
But when we go back to having 2 separate meetings, that's just something to think about.
and that's in the council handbook or something?
That was a council decision. Yes, I believe it's in the council policy manual.
Gotcha.
And it did say that, but if I remember right, we changed that in the last revision to not require 7 p.m., but instead require a time established by council.
Okay. Well, that's a good reminder, Stephanie, just for Mayor Pro Tem, that if you think we're going to need more time, for the study session, just let us know, and then we can plug that into the agenda per the handbook. All right, thanks for that, Stephanie and Tamara. Moving on to the regular items on this one, Allen Water Treatment Plant, bulk chemical purchase. This is something we do every year, so I would hope it could be consent. Allen Treatment Plant bulk chemical purchase for sodium hydrochloride, again, something we do every year. Designation of the official posting place for legal notices. That looks like is already on consent, also something we do every year. And then recognition of holiday lighting contest winners. And IGA with CDOT for maintenance of 285 South Broadway. That's a first reading. Would y'all like that on consent or discussion?
The 285 discussion.
Yes.
I'm reading the description here. Oh, it's an IGA. I would say consent.
Okay. All right, and that's the end of January 4th. Any other questions?
Actually, let's go. So regarding the DDA rev share or the tax conversation, is that Dan Paramba? Is DDA also going to be involved in that? Are they aware that they're going to be involved in that?
Yes, definitely. And finance has been working with both community development and DDA on the item.
Okay, perfect.
And then January 10th, we just have board and commission interviews. January 18th, we have an update on special events with regard to really trying to establish 2020 events in advance.
Shawn, can we go back to the January 10th meeting?
Uh-huh.
How many do we have at this moment? How many applicants that would interview?
I believe right now there are 15.
So that's
15 new applicants, and then we had several for appointments.
Okay. And then depending on how the conversation goes next week, there may be additional candidates that we would have to interview. So we may have to break that into 2 nights. Just an FYI.
Yes.
So I think that
Yes.
that's just.
And Tamara, I don't know if you're thinking to hold kind of just separate interviews for that charter committee.
I'm not sure how we've done it in the past. We certainly can, but I don't know if an applicant will apply for more than one board, but really I haven't given it much thought.
Okay.
Okay, we can move on to the 18th.
Okay. Got a study session on the events, and then resolution for board and commission appointments. And then public hearing for the PUD at 3690 South Jason Street. And then approval of the 2022 EDDA budget. Approval of the loan agreement between city and EDDA. And that's it. Questions on those? Oh, I guess we need to determine some consent if you want to make that decision now. Do you want to go on and come back to that, or is it?
Well, we have 20 minutes discussion for that. Where are we? Are we on 18th or are we on the 24th?
We're on the 18th. I was just checking to see if you have any, if you want to decide on consent on all these items or push that off to a future mayor manager.
Let's push it to a future.
Okay. There are no questions on that. January 24th, we have use of city right-of-way by third parties, discussion about that. Some updates to those policies, and that's a study session. All of these are, I think, yeah. And then reserving parking spaces for veterans as requested by council. Presentation on city payment of city use tax. This is a discussion on not requiring us to pay ourselves city use tax for our projects. And then January 24th, still city council policy manual discussion, just to review that, and a preliminary December monthly financial report. Though we did have a request, city clerk's office, to move this to the end of February, maybe the 4th meeting in February, because the December financial report is so up in the air with late closures, et cetera, that they want to move that back a month if council's okay with that.
Okay. I'm just looking at the right-of-way discussion. For some reason, I just think that's going to be lengthy, so I'm thinking 40 minutes minimum for that. I'm not sure if Mayor Pro Tem agrees with that, but.
Same thought. Yep, I agree.
Great.
The right-of-way item, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then how much time on the vets, if we want to assign that?
I know I saw 5 minutes, but in terms of presentation, I actually wonder how complex this. Well, not necessarily complex, but I'm just trying to. I think the discussion.
Yeah, Tim, do you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, this is for the Veterans Parking, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically I'm working right now with the city attorney's office. I've already talked to Public Works, but essentially the plan, this is based on Member Wink's consideration of wanting to recognize veterans. we're looking at making a recommendation for reserving approximately 8 parking spots around the city. And so basically the presentation is going to focus on where we're making the recommendations for them, what the cost would be for signage, also providing a few examples of signs, and then how we would communicate it. So that's basically what the presentation is about.
Okay. So that's 5 minutes?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, the discussion may be longer, but just to present the information, it's pretty straightforward. And those 8 spaces are just in city facilities, right, Tim?
Yeah, the final thing we're looking at is whether we could reserve a few on main streets. So that's where we're at right now in terms of finalizing that recommendation. But otherwise, yeah, we're recommending like 1 at Broken T, 2 at the Civic Center, at the rec centers, things like that.
Okay.
So discussion time on that.
On the discussion.
I'm sorry.
I thought 10 or 15 minutes for discussion.
Okay.
Not sure.
15 maybe.
Yeah, let's do 15. I'm not sure if Steve will agree, but
That's fine by me.
Okay.
And then city use tax, 10-minute presentation. Thoughts on discussion time?
10 minutes.
Okay.
All right, looks like the other 2 are already plugged in. All right, February 7th, we have a resolution for acceptance of land dedication from CDOT. And then the first reading of a PUD for 3690 South Jason. February 14th, well, anything questions on those 2? On February 14th, an emergency management program overview. March 7th, trolley update, future planning, welcome wheel plan hearing. On March 14th, code next update. March 21st, resolution of walk and wheel plan update. April 25th, estimated penalty for our tax audit license division of finance for late fees, I think. And then July 15th, framework agreement with Eleanor. Questions?
No. No questions.
All right. I didn't have any. Did anyone have council requests from last night?
I did not.
So I captured the little bit about the honoring community members. Did we want to tentatively schedule something for that for January or February?
Yeah, good question. I actually forgot to bring that up in my meeting with Sam today, but I'll follow up with him about that just to see if there are any confidentiality issues. But
Okay.
But
Mayor
Mayor Pro Tem, do you want to go ahead and pencil that in, or just wait till we have that
I
information?
would wait until we hear from the chief.
Okay.
Well, not only from the chief, but also from the citizens, right? So.
Right.
Can we put a placeholder in just to make sure that it doesn't slip through again?
Jade, are we still putting the placeholders at the bottom?
So yes, there are placeholders that go at the bottom of the sheet that I send out, but I can also go ahead and plug one in on a date that you would prefer in the system right now as well. If there's a, one day that you would prefer more than the other. It would need to be a regular meeting, so probably
I was thinking like, yeah, the one after
January 18th or, oh, sorry.
Yeah, the one after MLK Day.
Okay. We plug that in.
Okay.
Anything else anyone has?
And then I also had one other item as well. With the upcoming holidays and council meetings that are coming up, I wanted to confirm with you guys and see for mayor manager meetings how you guys wanted to proceed. I would recommend keeping the meeting on the 18th if you guys are okay with that, and then we could possibly cancel the next two mayor manager meetings for the next 2 Thursdays. But obviously that's up to the discretion of mayor and mayor pro tem and how you guys would like to proceed.
Yeah, I was thinking we'll keep the one for the 14th, but then cancel the ones for the 21 and the 28th. That would be my preference, but any thoughts there, Steve?
So the only reason why I recommend keeping the 28th is that'll give us a meeting prior to the meeting on the 4th. And it is sort of kind of a weird one because I guess we technically will have a meeting at 12 noon prior to that 4th meeting as well. But if your preference is to do the 21st and the 28th as canceled, we can do that if you would like.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't we do the agenda, the mayor manager meeting on the 14th for the meeting on the 4th?
Right.
Totally.
Okay. Yeah, I think there are going to probably be a lot of people out of town on the 28th.
Exactly.
I just think that there's a possibility that something could come up in the intervening 2 weeks. And I'm with Jade that the 28th would be a better date because it's closer to the actual meeting date.
Well, I'll actually be around.
I probably won't, but we can just keep it for the. I'm fine like having something for the 28th, but right now I'm not planning on being in the country.
Okay, and then what do you want to do about the 14th? So just keep all three, and maybe if we don't have anything come up, we can let you both know and then make a decision on canceling the 28th at that time. Nothing's come up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That sound good to you, Steve?
Yeah, we can definitely cancel the 21st though.
Okay. So for sure cancel. So keep the 14th, cancel the 21st, and then tentative on the 28th.
Right.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Anyone else have anything?
No, but I've noticed that you have these scheduled for an hour. I am dead set on keeping these half an hour. So just so you know, Shawn.
We love the idea.
No, nothing else for me. Anything from you, Steve?
Nothing to add.
And Othoniel, during our last one-on-one, you informed me that I was mistaken, that lunch hour is the best time for you. So if you have a different time, we can talk about that now too.
Well, I was gonna say so. The other option would be Wednesday mornings. Like Wednesday mornings are best for me between 8 and 9.
Mhm.
I know your preference, Shawn, because you like your sleep, but if Tuesday mornings are just not great for staff, Wednesday mornings would work. Thoughts, Steve? I'm not sure if you had a conflict last time, but and I
My
think there
schedule's generally fairly wide open, so whatever suits the rest of the body is fine by me.
Yeah, the only thing that we have the standing meeting with almost everybody on the call except for Jade is the leadership team meeting that's at 8:30 on Wednesday mornings. So we could, I could move that back to 9 and have this meeting at 8:30 if that worked better.
that would work for me.
And we would just have that hard stop at 8:30.
At 9, right?
I mean, sorry, at 9, a few minutes before. Thoughts from anybody?
I'm fine with it.
But that definitely would work better than these new meetings for you, Othoniel.
Yeah, just because I had to like fight off people today to keep this 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
Take my lunch.
gotcha. Okay, well, do you mind if we start that in January, just so I can get the leadership team? Everybody's gonna have to adjust their calendar on that one a little bit, but we can do it.
That would work for me.
Okay, and I've also asked the city clerk's office to take over a meeting scheduling for these. So we'll just cancel these out at the end of the year that Krista and I send, and the clerk's office will take care of scheduling these. That
So we're
works, Stephanie?
January then.
Correct.
Great.
So you're saying that we'll start on the 5th of January then? With the
If that's
8:30?
all right with you, yeah.
That works for me.
Okay.
Oh, so sorry. I just thought of that. So if we are gonna do the 5th of January, then it might be best to keep the 28th. Sorry.
How come?
because we won't have the meeting beforehand. Well, I guess nope. Actually, it'll be fine. We'll contact you if we need that one. Actually, I think we'll be fine. I think I'm overthinking. Apologies.
Sounds good. All right, I think that's all we've got.
All right, perfect. So it is now 12:25. If there's nothing else, the mayor manager's meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.